Welcome to Game and Grain. I'm your player one, Richard, and today we're going to take a look at Penelope's 2025 release of Havana. So grab those controllers, pour yourself a dram, and let's get into it. This is your whiskey walkthrough. Before we give ourselves a pour, let's unpack this bottle. The Penelope Havana is a part of this year's Cooper series. It is a double cask finished in both maple syrup and Caribbean rum barrels. It has a mash bill of 74% corn, 16% wheat, 7% rye, and 3% malted barley. It comes in at an MSRP of $79.99 and has a proof point of 93. We will score this bottle like our other whiskey walkthroughs. It will be scored on 4 levels: level 1 appearance, level 2 nose, level 3 taste, and level 4 finish. Each level will have a top score of 5 points, giving us a grand total of 20 points at the end. 2 additional points will be awarded as a bonus, 1 point based on availability and 1 for price. At the end, our score will determine, was this worthy of the purchase or should it have been left on the shelf? So let's go ahead and get into this bottle. I'm very excited about this because I have had this bottle since January of this month. I had been toying with the idea of doing this channel, and this was the first one that I had purchased. So this is very exciting. Now, the first thing that I notice when we talk about appearance is the color. Now, I have a couple of Penelope bottles, which is actually quite funny. I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and I was sharing with her that I'm not a very big Penelope fan, but I do love a good finished whiskey. And a lot of what I have up here is finished. So when I was getting ready to film this video, I pulled out all my Penelope bottles, and I'm pretty sure this is the most I have out of any brands in my collection. Now back to appearance, it does have a nice dark color compared to all of the other bottles that I have here on the table. It is second darkest, only compared to my toasted bottle here, and that could be because of the double cask. So they take the original whiskey, which they do have distilled at MGP, and then pour it into another barrel, let it sit for a while so it gets that flavor, and then they put it into the secondary barrel because this is a double cask before they bottle it. So I did not have an age statement that I could find online. And none was listed on the bottle. It does have a little bit of legs to it. It does kind of stick to the sides, but nothing like our older aged statement bottles. So based on color and the legs of the bottle, out of 5 points, we're going to give it a 4. Now, I should go ahead and just put a disclaimer out there. I enjoy drinking whiskey. I am in no way a professional. These are all my opinions. Your palate is probably going to be different from my palate. This is just my own thoughts and opinions of this particular bottle. Now, that was level 1. So again, out of 5 potential points, level 1 appearance, we're giving it 4 points. The next level, level number 2, is going to be on the nose. Now, the great thing about Penelope is they list some of the different tasting notes and things that you should be picking up off the bottle on their website. So, according to their website, I should be getting molasses, banana bread, and rich maple. So we're going to get into it, and let's see if I can pick up those notes that they say should be here. So I am starting to get some of that molasses, that maple syrup, which obviously would come off that maple barrel cask. If you're not familiar with how those typically work, usually what they will do is they will fill a barrel with whatever that particular product may be, whether that's honey, maple syrup, what have you. They'll let it sit and absorb into the barrel itself. Then they will empty it before pouring the whiskey into the barrel, and it takes on that note and helps to sweeten it and change the flavor profile. Not getting the banana bread, but definitely still getting that molasses, that sweet note that they said should be here. So again, it says one thing, I'm not getting it. Maybe if we were to let this sit and open up a little bit, those banana notes, banana bread notes would be more prominent. But for right now, we're just going to give it a 4.0 out of 5. All right, next is the palate. Again, based on what the website says, yes, I am letting that kind of influence this review. It says that there should be a robust caramel corn flavor. I should be able to pick up some charred oak and candied pecans. I'm really looking forward to this. I love pecan pie, candied corn, anything fall. So hopefully those are some of the things that we will be tasting on this next level. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Cheers. So with it being 93 proof, it is a lower proof whiskey. I typically prefer, the 110s and higher, something a little bit higher in proof. This is very mellow, no burn whatsoever. Definitely getting some sweet on the front of the tongue. We're going to go in again. All right, definitely picking up caramely vanilla notes, candied flavors. I don't know about the candied pecan. Maybe more towards that caramel corn, that candy corn flavor. Very, very mild flavor, like I said. Excuse me. Mild proofing. Again, no burn. It does linger a little bit, but we'll talk about that on the finish. Maybe a hint of char, like there's a little bit of char towards the end. But overall, it's pretty good. Like I said, it does have some sweetness to it, no burn, very smooth drinking. Some of those candied notes, that caramel notes that are there. I would say out of 5 points for level 3 taste, let's give it a 4.25. I definitely could see drinking this. It is, again, Havana. It's supposed to be more like a summery, sweet drink. I could definitely see sipping this out by the pool, maybe. But it's pretty good. All right. Level 4 is going to be finish. Again, a little bit of influence from the internet. It says that I should be getting lingering vanilla, brown sugar, syrup with a hint of mellow tobacco and spice. So, I can tell you that there is a little lingering, definitely some sweet on the palate. We're going to go in for it again and see if I can pick up some of those brown sugar, syrupy notes. So I am getting the vanilla. I am getting that brown sugar. It is sticking to my tongue as I'm talking to you now. I am still getting some of those flavors that are lingering a little bit. Not any tobacco, no spice that I'm picking up. But yeah, I could get the vanilla, the brown sugar, definitely the syrup. Now as I'm saying that, I'm kind of envisioning myself sitting at the table with the family having some pancakes, some waffles with some maple syrup. I am getting that syrupy flavor that is still kind of coating my tongue that you would expect when you're having breakfast. So out of 5 points for the finish, we're going to give it a 4.0. Now again, these scores are subjective. These are my own thoughts and opinions based on the bottle. So we are currently standing at 16.25 points out of 20, so that's not too bad, but we still have bonus points that can be made available. So one bonus point will be given based on availability, and another one will be given based on price. So this this particular bottle came out around January of 2025. Penelope does distribute, according to their websites, over 49 states and about 7 countries. So availability is quite broad. However, with this being an allocated item, I'm not sure of the regions that it went to. I was able to walk into my local liquor store, came across this, it was sitting on the tasting bar and made available to its patrons. So, however, with it being limited release, you're probably going to have a hard time finding it unless it's in somebody else's cabinet or hidden in the back room for an allocated raffle or something like that. So, based on availability, all that to say, we're just going to give it a 0.25 because I have a feeling that once it's done, it's done. Now this is batch 1 of the Cooper series, so I've heard lots of positive things from other people, other YouTubers, and so hopefully they will do a batch 2 of this particular bottle. Now price-wise, it is an MSRP of $79.99. Again, usually with you having a lower proof bottle, $79.99 is kind of expensive, but again, this is a double cask, so they had to let it sit for a little while in the Caribbean rum barrels as well as the maple syrup barrels. So I think that kind of justifies the price. I did pay a little bit more. Again, I walked in to my local liquor store, was sitting on the counter at the tasting bar. They had just a few of them. I think I paid closer to about $90 to $100. Would I say that's a fair price? I don't know. I think I would have preferred it closer to that MSRP. So I think on the price point, we'll probably also give that, we'll be generous. We'll give that half of a point. All right, so overall total score, we have 4 points for appearance, 4 points for nose, 4.25 for the taste, 4 points for our finish, a quarter of a point for our bonus, and half of a point for our price. So overall, we have, let's see here, 17 out of 20 points. So is it worthy of a purchase, or should I have left it on the shelf? I think that if I were to come across this bottle again, $79.99 at MSRP, I definitely think that it would be worthy of the purchase. Very sweet. Again, like I said, my palate tends to gravitate towards finished items. I love a good honey finish, maple syrup finish. I'm really excited about doing a review on the Rio. I've been told that it kind of is like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which I absolutely love. I have another bottle from Crittenden's that I will probably do a side-by-side after I review this guy here. So all in all, great bottle, definitely worthy of purchase. If you see one available in your area, definitely grab it if it is closer to that $79.99 MSRP. All right, guys, thank you very much. Again, I am Richard, your player one here with Game and Grains, and this was your whiskey walkthrough. Have a good one.